I'm Corbett Wall with Defy Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, June the 13th, where this June live cattle, the spot board, continues to defy cash. We just saw huge basis levels all spring on it, and then we thought it was starting to tighten back up, and now it's been weaker than the other out front months the last couple of days. And we know that the fat cattle market, the last established is 115. It's sitting down there at 108.5, and we're halfway through June. You know, that's supposed to come together, or there's really no point in having it. You wonder why, and the way it does come together is the threat of delivery. You wonder why the packers don't exercise their long contracts and demand delivery. Well, they never had any long contracts. To get a long contract, you'd have to buy the board that would support the board. They'll never do that. That's the main reason that it doesn't work very good. But your short hedgers are not complaining because we normally have a pretty good basis, which helps them catch their break-evens. But you would think we're getting down into the month pretty long now, that you would think the packers would go in there and buy some contracts now. They'd a lot rather buy cattle at 108.5 than they would at 115, or maybe even more this week, who knows. But and that's probably not going to work. It's the oldest longs that really have the chance of delivering, and it will have to get real late in the contract month before that come together. But look at the board for Tuesday, August live cattle up 12 cents at 104.30. June down 12 cents. I know it's not a lot, but still it's down when the others were up a little bit at 108.52. August feeder cattle down 15 cents at 145.80. Go out to October, it was down 62 cents at 146.95. Crop production report did come out on Tuesday. Mostly just affecting wheat. Winter wheat harvest is expected to be 1.2 billion bushels, which would be down 6% from last week. And we've also seen a reduction in what we're expecting from the Russian crop, and wheat bounced right back from the Monday's lows there, gaining 18 cents. And we've known that the wheat crop, winter wheat crop, especially your hard red winter wheat crop, has just been disastrous this year because of the lack of rain in the southern plains, but going to continue to stay up there. Corn bounced right back. Beans were about steady. Corn was up about 10 cents with lower than expected ending stocks. But you look at your fat cattle trade, which we really haven't seen any so far this week, and Tuesday's just getting to be kind of a quiet day, especially with we're kind of in a lull on our feeder cattle markets and not a lot of big sales selling. But your fat cattle trade, we've seen a few, about 1,100 head, which is nothing, only in the Iowa, southern Minnesota area. Sell live basis from 112 to 115, mostly 114, but like I said, that's nothing to establish the market with. Had a few dress sales at 181. Fed Cattle Exchange, your online fat cattle sales, has 600 head on offer here Wednesday morning, mostly in Kansas. We'll see if your packers are going to support that. They haven't wanted to, but sometimes they do tip their hand a little bit during during that sale. But just nothing really going on as of yet. Look at your feeder cattle market. On a light auction day on Tuesday, real-time index sitting at 139.83, up another 6 cents. So basically pretty much unchanged from the end of last week. We haven't seen any volatility so far this week, and that's the way it ought to be because nothing's really happened. But you look at your CME cash feeder cattle index, it's sitting about a buck higher than that at 140.95. Your real-time steer tracker, that's just on Tuesday's sales there of the bigger lots of steers in the index, and those are sitting at 138.88, so a little bit lighter than what we've seen, but just nothing to really push the market. We didn't have a lot of big sales on Tuesday. OKC West had their calf sale, about 3,000 head there, and it was a decent calf sale, but no fireworks one way or the other. Sold the calves kind of fully steady. We are looking forward to the yearling sale here on Wednesday to kind of see if there's going to be any change in that market. I did get a message from my friend Kurt Sportleader up there in Unionville, Missouri, and that's one of the markets that we're going to be featuring on Cattle Market Central. As soon as we get tied into the clerk system there, it's not going to cost Kurt a thing, and going to get a lot of exposure for his market. But at Unionville Livestock Market up there in north central Missouri, and you can throw a rock to Iowa there, but he told me about a load of black steers he had weighed 796 at 150.60, and a bigger load of black 914-pound steers at 143. Go out east there to a good market, which is a good test of the way things are going out there, but still continuing to sell those good load lots of put together green yearling steers in Kentucky. You got to go out there to get anything that's green this time of year. But one of the smaller spots and Bluegrass, one of the smaller locations, Bluegrass Stockyards of Maysville, Kentucky, sells 63 head of 812-pound steers at 144.75. That's your feeder flash for Wednesday.